Well, he read Joseph Cheong perfectly there, picked him off like a cherry on a tree.
Here's the flop, 9-10, 4. That's pretty good for Robl. For outs.
He now has outs. A jack would give him a straight.
This winter doesn't have to be long, cold, and boring. Imagine flying into Vegas, staying at a beautiful hotel, and playing poker with the biggest names. And it's all paid for. Win your chance for a free poker dream vacation. Win a free seat to the WPT World Championship in Las Vegas. Simply click the sign up link in the upper right hand corner. Sign up with bonus code YT39 and we'll match your first deposit, dollar for dollar.
For the amateur, Jim Courtney out in front with nearly 1.7 million. Joseph Cheong not far behind with 1.65 million. And Dan Perper and Andrew Robl, as you can see, on the extreme short stack.
Yeah, the winner's going to take home over $1 million, $1,023,000.
And what's unique, Vince, is the guys in 4th, 5th, and 6th place, they get 0, zippity-doo-dah. That should make this a fun final table.
That is right. Annie's at 2,000. Blinds are 8 and 16,000. Here we go. Action on Steven Silverman, young poker professional. He folds his hand. And now Dan Perper, who's an equity option trader from Highland Park, Illinois, also going to fold.
Action around to one of the top poker pros in the world, David Doc Sands. He goes out here, though.
Now Joseph Cheong, another poker pro out of Palos Verdes, California. Not going to play. It's around to Andrew Robl. And look at this. He has picked up the weapons of mass destruction, the pair of aces on hand number 1.
Unbelievable, Vince. He's on the short stack at this table. Just what you dream about. You sit down and look down at 2 aces in the first hand.
Now how to play them, how to extract the most money from your victim.
He's going to limp in here, Vince.
There you go, there you go. Very sneaky. And now it's on Jim Courtney. And, oh, I can't believe what am I seeing?
This is unbelievable.
What?
I don't think in the history of 11 seasons on the tour we've ever seen the blinds both pick up 2 aces, especially on deal number 1.
Well, Jim goes all in, of course, and a snap call by Robl, and no one can believe it at the table.
Oh. Well, you shook your head when he called.
Of course I did.
Well, unbelievable. Now, obviously, one of them's going to have to make a flush to win the pot.
Oh, my God.
Look at this.
3 clubs come out. Jim Courtney has the ace of clubs.
How they put in the cold deck. Yeah, good. Always a cold decks at the WPT for the TV.
And another clubby spike. Can Jim Courtney, the
baby.
real estate guy, no, it's a 4 spades on the turn.
I mean, Vince, this is not even fair to lose when you have the same hand as your opponent.
Don't
I
jinx
think
him.
it should be a push.
Here we go to the river, Mike.
2 o'clock.
Andrew doesn't want to see the club, and he does not see
Well,
it.
it's a 5, so Andrew Robl lives on, but
That's funny.
justifiably so.
Nice doing business with you.
Yes.
Much to the chagrin of the other players at the table, they would like to see Andrew gone, but doesn't happen. They split the pot as they should.
It's like my trap worked beautifully.
I'm thinking, man, I sure hope he raises.
That is Jim Courtney, the real estate broker
funny.
from Detroit, Michigan.
Please
He's
raise,
68
please
years
raise.
old, top businessman.
Well, Andrew Robl, the guy he was up against, finished 2nd in this same event last year.
That is
So,
right.
pretty impressive.
Right back to the action, Dan Perper. Oh, he picked up a big hand. He's got the ace-king.
Come on.
Well, Dan finished 4th in this tournament last year. Chipping it here because he's on the short stack. Can't blame him. Doc Sands out. Joseph Cheong out.
All right, 2 in a row.
Andrew Robl now going to take a peek at his cards. He's got a nothing hand, so he folds his hand. Around to Jim, he's out.
Call.
And look at this.
Snap call by Steve Silverman with queens. Vince, what hands we're seeing here.
Shocking.
Aces versus aces. Queens versus ace-king suited in the first 2 hands. Can you believe it? The classic race in poker, the ace-king versus the queens. Who's going to win it? Daniel Perper must win to stay alive. Will the queens hold up?
Here we go. And he hits a king
right
just like
on
that.
the flop. So Daniel has taken the lead with the 2 kings.
Pretty nice flop for Daniel. Here comes 4th Street.
On 8, so we're down to the river card. Steve Silverman must catch a queen on the river to eliminate Daniel from this tournament. A big dog to do so.
And Steve hit
That's a
lightning,
9,
no.
so there you go.
Thanks.
That race goes to the short stack. Daniel Perper stays alive.
Yeah, and that was a big sigh of relief. He can't believe he went up against queens, but then he hit his hand. Nicely done, doubling up.
Well, that's pretty incredible, the hands that we're seeing coming out so far. Ace king versus two queens, aces versus aces. Wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Dan Perper stacking his chips, loving that.
Back to the action. So David Doc Sands, superstar young player, looks down a queen jack of spades.
Yep, he's in first position.
He always moves like he's in slow motion, though. Takes so much time to play, drives you crazy at the table, but the guy can really play.
Makes it 38,000 to go. Now Joseph behind him has a jack, 8 of hearts.
Joseph Cheong, certainly the biggest gambler at this table in terms of willingness to play pots. He's sort of like the Gus Hansen style player. He not only plays a lot of hands, he fights for a lot of pots, just like Gus.
Well, he's called, and now we have a couple folds behind him. Now it's around to Stephen Silverman, also folding. Dan Perper gets out of their way, so two-way action. Jack 8 versus Queen Jack, and we are flopping.
The flop comes 10-9-3 with 2 spades. What a flop for Doc Sands. He's got the best hand with a queen high and a straight flush draw, but Joseph has an open-end straight draw, as you can see, and a backdoor hard flush draw. This pot could swell up quickly, folks.
57,000 bet by Doc with a huge potential hand. Joseph likes it. He's going to call it. Going to the turn.
Oh, and now the 6 of hearts comes off. Both players with an open-end straight draw and a flush draw.
Both big, huge potential hands.
It's just unbelievable.
On Doc first. He's going to continue to bet 144.
Joseph Cheong could well come over the top. He's very capable of that play. I'm not sure it'll work here, though, with such a big draw by Doc Sands. But Joseph taking the conservative route, just calling here to see the river card.
See who will get lucky. Actually, neither one has a 6 hits, pairs the board, but queen high is the best hand.
Well, it's the 6 of diamonds.
It's unbelievable.
Now, Doc Sands, who flopped such a monster, now thinks he's got nothing. What's he going to do here? Folks, he thinks he's bluffing this pot here, even though he has the best hand with queen high.
Yep, he thinks he's bluffing, but he's going to bet 277. And Joseph Cheong.
Joseph not giving up just yet.
Looks down there, hoping that he made a mistake and he has something, but he doesn't, and he has to release the hand.
Well, Doc looking back. Thinks he bluffed it, but he didn't. But what big hands by both players. Could have been a lot bigger pot than it was.
It sure could have. Man can get broke on that kind of hand. And there, you see in the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar, the girls having a great time. All right, back to this hand. And the antes are going up to 3,000. Blinds are 10 and 20 now. Robl this time with a queen 5, releases that. And now Jim Courtney with a nice little pair of 5s here.
Well, Jim loves competition, loves playing the best. His last tournament cash was 2006, though.
Will raise this hand, makes it 45,000 to go. Stephen Silverman out.
Dan Perper out as well.
Yep.
But Doc Sands is not going out. He's got the ace king of diamonds. Well, I absolutely love the way Doc Sands plays poker in terms of the way he does play when he plays, but I hate the way he plays because he plays so slow.
Yes, very methodical, and he's going to re-raise. Joseph Cheong out.
He is so deliberate. Every time he makes a decision, it drives other players at the table crazy. But they'd all love to have his results.
Jim Courtney, though, is not going anywhere with the 5s.
Well, he does make the call. Well, everyone likes to see flops with small pairs. Jim Courtney taking a flop here. These are the 2 chip leaders going at it. Here comes the flop. Well, 8-6-3 with 2 hearts. Nice flop for the small pair of Jim Courtney.
Doesn't help Doc Sands, but Doc's first to act. He's getting that hand moving.
Well, you know the continuation bet is coming here. You're not going to put your opponent on little cards after raising and calling the raise before the flop.
Doc is gonna bet like he has a hand. We know better. It's 224.
Well, Jim's looking back at his fives again, trying to figure out what to do with them.
So he's just gonna call.
He does make the call. You know Doc Sands doesn't like that.
No, that hurts.
But he does like that as the ace peels off on the turn.
Just like magic. Hits the ace.
Well, Doc Sands, just incredible. Already this year, he's finished second, and third in 3 high roller events. Won over $1.5 million in those. Could take home over another $1 million tonight if he could win this one.
Well, he's bet 357,000 into Jim Courtney.
Well, I think it's an easy getaway for Jim now. He can beat nothing but a stone bluff.
Yep. That ace kind of solidifies it. And he will release the hand. Nicely done, Jim.
With that pot, David Doc Sands takes a nice chip lead at this final table.
Doc is just operating on these guys right now. Will it continue? Stay tuned. 6 players just getting started here at Bellagio. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
This winter doesn't have to be long, cold, and boring. Imagine flying into Vegas, staying at a beautiful hotel, and playing poker with the biggest names. And it's all paid for. Win your chance for a free poker dream vacation. Win a free seat to the WPT World Championship in Las Vegas. Simply click the sign up link in the upper right-hand corner. Sign up with bonus code YT39 and we'll match your first deposit, dollar for dollar.
Back to the felt. Steve Silverman with an ace-3 of clubs quickly folds. Dan Perper now with the, look at this. I can't believe the hands we're seeing tonight. Pair of queens.
He just lost with 2 jacks
Wow.
a minute ago. Now he picks up queens. Now you know he's going to raise it. Just trying to figure out how much to raise it.
Man, it's got to be so exciting when you're at a final table and you start picking up big hands like this. And there's the raise. Makes it 50,000. Went to Doc Sands.
He's got ace deuce of diamonds, but exits to go out.
Joseph Cheong now. Oh, he's got a pair of 8s.
Well, we just saw him play the 8-4. So certainly 2 8's got to look a lot better to him.
Yeah, he's going to raise it to 125. Andrew Robl now with a king 9 of clubs.
Well, the raise shut Andrew out of this pot.
Now the real estate man, Jim Courtney, can't play. Back
Come
on
on.
Perper, goes all in.
Call.
And a quick call.
Yep, all in and called, and pair over pair. Joseph can see he is not in good shape here.
I swear.
You definitely dreamt those queens. Yeah.
Boy, you ain't whistling Dixie.
Well, Joseph said, again, you got a big hand?
I'm amazed.
Daniel Perper from Chicago with a big opportunity now to really get back into this.
Well, Joseph Cheong with the 2 snowmen, but they could melt away here because his opponent's got 2 queens.
And here come the first 3.
Well, 9, 6 deuce with 2 hearts.
7 for a sweat.
No.
7 of hearts.
Yeah, Daniel looking very happy. And here comes the turn, Jack of spades. Also good for Dan.
Well, Joseph Cheong must catch an 8 on the river to win this pot and eliminate Daniel Perper. Otherwise, Daniel is going to double up yet again, and he does as the 4 diamonds comes off.
That's him.
Daniel Perper doubling up once again. Came in as an extreme short stack.
Oh, boy, the equity options trader getting a good return on his investment right there, Vince.
Yeah, big smile at the table. No one wants to go away here at Bellagio.
All right, action's going to Joseph Cheong, the young poker professional who grew up in Palos Verdes, California. Quick fold by him.
Over to top pro, Andrew Robl. He's out.
And now the real estate man, Jim Courtney. He is 68 years old. He says he's been playing poker since he was 9 years old.
Wow.
Not a professional, but he's got king, queen this time, and he likes it. He's going to raise.
Yeah, makes it 45,000 to go.
Silverman out. And the other so-called amateur at the table, Dan Perper, also folding.
Now Doc Sands, the chip leader, looks down at ace-9 offsuit.
Yep.
Now he knows that this amateur player is probably going to have a hand when he raises it, so it'll be interesting to see how Doc is going to play the ace-9 here.
Yep.
He's going to make the call.
Throws in a little breadcrumb. Makes the call, hopes to get lucky, and here we go.
Now flop is queen, queen, 9, 3 queens for Jim Courtney.
Incredible.
Unfortunately for Doc Sands, he's got a pair of 9s
And he's
with
got
an ace kicker.
Check the 9s. And Jim, 3 of a kind. Show tunes going off in his head right now. He's got a bet.
Doesn't slow play him, fires right out.
Little TC fly, continuation bet with a huge hand, 60,000.
Yeah, this could spell a little trouble for Doc Sands here if some little cards come off.
Yep, and Doc is going to call. Doc almost plays like a robot. So methodical, very smooth.
King comes off now, giving Jim Courtney a full house.
Oh, is that all?
No card Doc Sands can catch to win this pot. He is drawing dead and checks.
He does check.
Oh, look at that, Vince.
Like it.
He drops his jaw like, oh, I don't like that card. I'll check.
Checks the nuts and a 5 of diamonds on the river.
Oh, boy.
It shows you that Jim can really play. You know, you don't bet him. You have a gigantic hand, of course. Wait for your sucker to catch a little bit
This
more.
is a ho-hum bet here, too.
Yeah.
100,000 here. Doc Sands sits back in his chair. He says, what's going on? The guy checked on the turn. All of a sudden, he's going to bet on the river when that card comes off. So Doc now knows that the guy's either got nothing or he's got a big, big duke.
He's got a monster. Doc with 9s, ace kicker. Yeah, you can release this hand, though, knowing the player, knowing that he raised before the flop.
Yeah, he's going to lay it down,
Yeah.
Vince, and a good lay down there by Doc Sands, much to the sadness of Jim Courtney.
Yeah, Jim Courtney,
Sorry, dude.
he owns a major business back in Detroit in the real estate business, but he just has a passion for poker. And right there you see the trophy with the cash that's going to be given out to the high roller champion.
What do you do with all your trophies, Vince?
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Trophies. I got a lot of dust on my old tennis trophies.
You'll all get to see it on TV.
You probably sit up and polish them every night.
Oh boy. Okay, back to this game of poker. Couple folds, and now Dan Perper. He's got a pair of 6s. And Perper's gonna. Yep, he's gonna raise with a little purpose here.
Yep. 42,000 is the bet.
Yes. Doc Sands.
Doc's got the ace-3 of hearts, and Vince, he lays the ace suited down, the baby suited.
Cheong out. Now Andrew Robl.
He looks down at queen-9 of diamonds out of the big blind. It cost him 22,000 more to make the call. Getting a good price on his money to do that.
Yep, he's going to make this call.
These are the two
start with
short stacks
350?
at the table, but
Yeah, around.
Daniel Perper has almost twice as many.
Flop comes up 4-4-2.
Nice flop there for Daniel.
No help for Andrew. Andrew will check it. Dan Perper with the overpair. He's got to feel comfortable.
Yep, gotta like that flop if you have 2 6s.
Makes the bet, 43,000.
No, Andrew Robl staring him down, Vince. What he's thinking here is maybe this guy's got an ace-jack, ace-10 suited. Whereas if I check raise, I could get him off this hand and take down this pot.
Well, we're dealing with 2 short stacks, so be careful. And that's exactly what Andrew's going to do.
Yep.
As his girlfriend watches his move, he has popped it up to 105,000 to go.
Well, I like the play, Vince. Might not work here, but you have to like the thinking of Andrew Robl.
I'm all in.
Perper says all in.
Well.
Yep.
Maybe it's not so good.
Take that all back. Andrew has to lay down the hand, and nicely done by Dan. He's saying if you have a bigger pair of flop to 4, take my money.
Yep.
Not going to happen right there.
This winter doesn't have to be long, cold, and boring. Imagine flying into Vegas, staying at a beautiful hotel, and playing poker with the biggest names. And it's all paid for. Win your chance for a free poker dream vacation. Win a free seat to the WPT World Championship in Las Vegas. Simply click the sign up link in the upper right hand corner. Sign up with bonus code YT39 and we'll match your first deposit, dollar for dollar.
Back to the table we go. 6 players remain here, and the antes are going up to 12 and 24,000. Quick fold by Dan Perper. Doc Sands also out.
48.
Joseph Cheong
Well, announces 48,000 with the 10-4.
right behind him. Andrew picking up a big king, queen of clubs.
Notice Andrew glanced to his left first before he's acting on this king queen.
On.
But,
Robl's gonna push.
yep, he's going all in.
All in. Wow, and Jim Courtney now with a king.
Call.
Oh boy, quick call by Courtney, of course, with the kings.
Andrew Robl looked at Courtney, but he hadn't looked at his hand yet. Picks up 2 kings.
Silverman out. Cheong won't compete, so it is two-handed. They flip him up.
Well, tough luck for Andrew Robl here. And right now, Andrew Robl's tournament life on the line, and he is in dire straits. King, queen versus 2 kings.
I do not like the snap call.
Well, he read Joseph Cheong perfectly there, picked him off like a cherry on a tree.
Here's the flop. 9-10-4. That's pretty good for Robl. For
Well,
outs.
He now has outs. A jack would give him a straight.
A jack.
There you go.
Like a jack.
Andrew Robl, a man that's made over $3.5 million in poker. Life on the line here. On the turn, it's an 8. No help for Robl.
Well, Robl, highly respected pro around the world, but right now needs help to stay alive in this tournament.
Otherwise, he'll be our first victim here at the high roller. Here it comes. It's a 6 of clubs.
That's going to do it for the guy that finished runner-up in this tournament 1 year ago. Andrew Robl out tonight in 6th place. Vince, he came in with a short stack. Tried to fight to stay alive, double up once, but just wasn't meant to be for Andrew tonight, out in 6th place.